Now, what we're constructing here, under the leadership of our team leader, Phil Catalano, is what Wilhelm Reich called a cloudbuster, and what we call an atmospheric energy device, or an AED. And what Reich found was that long metal tubes connected to water by hollow metal cables will produce an energetic effect on the atmosphere. And over years of research, he found that clouds could be disrupted, clouds could be created, weather systems could be enhanced to the point where precipitation would drop, pollution could be dispersed, fog could be dispersed, and a variety of other things. Working with his own team and several of these devices, but much larger, Reich was able to significantly change the humidity in a desertified part of the United States, in Arizona, during his lifetime. Since then, other workers, including myself, have continued to use this device in situations of drought in many parts of the United States and Europe, including Israel, where significant changes were produced through using the device and moving on a truck and moving south from Haifa down to Eilat after long periods of drought. Rainfall was created so there was sufficient to fill the Sea of Galilee. This has been done twice. A lot is unknown about how it works. Reich surmised that the device, the tubes, draw energy towards them when the device is hooked up into running water. And experiments which have been done with small versions of the device demonstrate that this is probably true. It does not mean that energy is not emitted from the tubes. That is a possibility, and that will have to be demonstrated experimentally. However, what we're trying to do today is to see, working with this for approximately an hour, what the effect will be on the local and downstream atmosphere. We're being very cautious today because of the tornadoes in Oklahoma. It may seem to many that we're a long way from Oklahoma, and in terms of distance as measured on the ground, we are. But energetically, we're not that far away. The Earth is surrounded by, as Reich described it, by an ocean of energy, and it's all contiguous. And if you affect one part of it, you affect another part of it. So we're being very cautious today because of the recent atmospheric conditions. So we're not looking for anything in particular. We're just going to set it up and get it going, and then we'll make our observations. At this moment, the crew is hooking the flexible metal cable, it's called greenfield cable, up to the back of the metal tubes. Tubes are made out of galvanized iron. There's nothing particularly exotic about them. They can be purchased at your local electrical supply house. Then the other end of the tubes are being thrown into a running creek. It's starting to work.
So go ahead and talk.
As we speak. What you may notice is there will be an increase in puffs of wind, and there may be changes in the atmosphere. The camera is pointing in the general direction of the cloudbuster.
Yeah.
See those clouds in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jan, you focus right there. You see that cloud moving away this way? Those clouds are being broken up by the device as we're seeing it. Now watch what happens when, focus on this cloud here, focus right here.
Edge of that big cloud?
This cloud here.
It's recording right now. So.
Good. Well, watch that cloud break up as it moves into the general area of influence of the device. And that area of influence will spread.
Left.
Yeah. That's right. Good. That's exactly what happens.
I can see it.
A vortical action takes place.
Oh,
That's
and it's accelerating.
Yeah, because the vortex is energy's moving from there to us.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see, but I can see, I'm able to see energies coming out of clouds like auras. And when that contraption was set up, all of a sudden I saw in that big cloud to the left, on the edge of the right of that big cloud, like some circulation, like a ribbon of circulation of energy starting to like spiral and rotate. And then it accelerated. And as I saw that happen, the clouds to the right, it was like a magnetic pull. They started being attracted to that. So, well, I think the water just accelerates the
That's right.
cloud busting energy.
Okay, see is the cloud buster is pointed just slightly into that cloud in the indentation, which is now turning blue, and you can kind of see things swirling around. It's just started, so and it's very close and local, but we're going for deeper and farther effects. But this is just a local effect you can see in the cloud. Punched a hole in the cloud, there wasn't a hole before, and now there's a nice little slot out of it. And if you look at the side, little cloud off to the right, you can see how the energy is kind of being drawn to that hole. And it's just kind of creating a swirl of etheric energy because it always moves in the Krunsfeld or spiral wave. So I guess we just film and see what happens.
At this point, we're going to direct the tubes towards zenith, that is as close to overhead as we can get. And we are interested in what will happen in the local weather situation, which is predicted to be free of precipitation for 10 days. We are under the influence of a high pressure system, which is responsible for that expansive effect and movement of the energy in the atmosphere. We're also concerned about what effects this will have downstream, especially keeping our eyes on places like Oklahoma, where a cold front is moving through and producing the tornadoes. Cold fronts produce tornadoes at a certain time of the year because of the cold fronts are created energetically out of superimposing energy streams. And you get those energy streams superimposing intensely enough and tight enough, you get things like tornadoes and hurricanes. This is Dr. Blasban speaking. I was just saying that I had published a paper in the Journal of Ergonomy at least 10, 15 years ago, probably longer, demonstrating how weather systems that can be quite a distance, hundreds of miles away from the area where you're working, literally working, will be attracted to that area. And we were able to demonstrate this by satellite imagery of cloud systems.
what we're going to do now is to see if there's any fluctuation in terms of the power of the energy field, but it will also indicate what's going on inside of these tubes. So I'm going to start at the end where the tubes are actually in the water and work my way up to the tubes aimed at the clouds, and we'll see if there's any difference. So I now have the pendulum over the water, but over the tubes, the coils that are in the water. And my intention is to follow this activity field all the way up to the solid tubes ahead. So I'm over the water, and my pendulum is very, very active, very strong. As a matter of fact, I have to let more string down because I can't hold it. I'm going up the coils, as you can see. Okay, I detect a slight increase. There's a slight increase. Oh, right here, the increase is a lot more. And actually, I can feel it with my hand. It seems as if, like every 12 inches or so, it almost exponentially, the energy exponentially rises or gets more powerful. And now I'm doing all I can to hold on to my pendulum. I almost lost it there. We're going towards the, okay, it's so strong. It is now, okay, if you can see it, it is now revolving vertically like a Ferris wheel. That means that the energy and the power is so strong that it can't continue on its usual course, and my fingers are hurting from trying to hold on to it. So, and I need to get away from it. It starts off with very high energy in the water, and as you go up, it seems that it increases almost exponentially until it goes at the bottom of the tubes, and it really almost like explodes.
Okay, this is Phil Catalano, and I'm looking at the pipes as the way they are aiming towards the clouds, and what we're seeing is a separation, as if the clouds are separating from a single point away from a center point. If it were wind, it would be moving the clouds together in the same direction, but since they are dispersing away from a center point or a central whole area, it's something more than just wind affecting. It could be affecting one layer or another, but not both the way we're seeing it.